Vietnamese rice fields and gardens after a carpet bombing by the USA on B-52 planes, 1966. Women cannibals, USSR, 1920s. Rudolf Höss, architect of Auschwitz before being hanged near the crematorium. Strongman Stefan shows his strength by pulling a car through the streets of Berlin with his teeth, 1925. Chinese justice. A man is publicly flogged for breaking the law, 1900. A glimpse into historic public punishment systems. This amazing photo shows an electric taxi car driving through the streets of New York in 1898, 110 years before Elon Musk's Tesla. Children, prisoners of Auschwitz concentration camp, show their camp numbers tattooed on their arms, Poland, 1945. The pioneer of the automobile radio was Alfred Grebe, who had to install a large antenna shaped like a clothes dryer on the bumpers around 1919. Copper band for Catholic schoolboys to prevent sin, France, 1880s. Wounded British soldiers with captured German helmets, France, 1916. Unit 731 conducted experiments on Chinese women who were raped, impregnated, and purposefully infected with syphilis to see if the disease would be passed on hereditarily. Kazakh girl in a wedding dress, Kazakhstan, 1898. An Aboriginal man photographs his tribesmen on the northern coast of Queensland, Australia, 1929. A group of young women holds posters condemning alcohol. This was the movement in support of prohibition in the USA, 1919. Mike Tyson in glamorous pink handcuffs goes to prison for drug possession and drunk driving, 2008. On May 7, 1954, the U.S. officially refused the USSR entry into NATO. This decision clearly signaled the United States' hostile stance toward the Soviet Union, leading to an arms race and the intensification of the Cold War between the two powers. Infant crawling races, a popular sporting event in New Jersey during the 1940s. Reporter interviewing a penguin, 1966. Snow blockade in Minnesota, USA, March 29, 1881. Girls participate in a Miss Beautiful Eyes contest in Florida, 1930. To make the competition fair, contestants had to hide their entire face except for their eyes. If today it's the Beatles, then what will tomorrow bring? Christian rally against the Beatles, California, 1966. A break for tennis players, 1930. Photo of total solar eclipse on July 11, 1991, Chiapas, Mexico. Freak Show, 1924, USA, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Joe Matani, a maniac who dismembered bodies, mixed human flesh with animal meat, and made burger patties to serve to customers in his cafe. An animal with an IQ comparable to a human's. Coco, the gorilla. She knew over 1,000 sign language signs and could understand around 2,000 English words. Coco could describe her feelings, curse, and joke. For example, once she jokingly called herself a good bird, saying she could fly, but later admitted it was just for fun. She passed away in the morning of 2018. General Douglas MacArthur accepts Japan's surrender aboard the USS Missouri, Tokyo Bay, September 2, 1945. Japanese gangsters, Yakuza, 1960. In 2010, Randy Guajaro bought an 1878 photograph for $2 that showed Billy the Kid and his gang. It turned out to be one of 2 confirmed photos and is valued at $5 million. After a 7-day strike, Woolworth store employees in Detroit celebrate their victory. They managed to raise wages by 20%, reduce working hours to 40 hours a week, and receive overtime pay. 1937. Ainu girls started lip tattoos around age 7, enduring years of cut and soot ink with no anesthesia. It was painful, repetitive, expected before marriage. Japan banned it by 1871, nearly erasing the rite. Pearl Harbor after the surprise attack by Japanese aviation. Hawaiian Islands, 1941. The Great Wall of China is regretfully called the longest cemetery in the world. Thousands of people are buried inside it. They died carrying enormous boulders to construct the wall. A failed kamikaze attack on the British heavy cruiser on July 26, 1945. The impact was made by a Japanese Army reconnaissance aircraft. The bomb fell into the water before the plane collided with the ship's hull. The pilot died in vain. Photographers shoot an atomic explosion from News Knob Rock, Nevada test site, June 24, 1957. The defeated, captured Wehrmacht generals stand in thought at the walls of the artillery-damaged Berlin Cathedral, 1945. There were 157,000 cases of the USSR executing its own soldiers during World War II. In the US, Britain, and France, the count was only in the hundreds. Charging an electric car in 1911. Halloween costume variety, 1930s. Part of an astronaut's helmet found in Texas after the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster on February 1, 2003, serves as a reminder of the heroism of spaceflight. In Moscow, between several hundred and 2,000 to 3,000 people died in the crush at Stalin's funeral. Official figures are classified. Some of the survivors of Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571, which crashed in the mountains. The survivors had to resort to cannibalism to survive. President Bill Clinton misses a football pass during a game at the Hyatt Regency Hotel, USA, 1993. General Patton's dog mourning his owner's death, 1945. Berta Baranda, 5 years in prison for cutting off her husband's member for cheating, USA, 1907. Few know that the first refrigerators were specifically designed to cool beer. American obscurantism, 1873. After the death of the dog Laika in space, women from Mississippi wrote to the UN. They condemned the cruelty to the dog, proposing to use little Negroes from their city for scientific experiments instead. There were also brothels in concentration camps, and very often the girls were abused by other women, such as the commandant's wives, simply for pleasure. The uniform of Archduke Franz Ferdinand from 1914, whose assassination triggered the start of World War I. This is a dog named Laika, the first dog in space. There were no plans for her return to Earth, and she died in orbit in 1957. Dagestani duo. The husband rides on a donkey, the wife carries the whole market. Dagestan, 1936. In 1970, veterans tossed their military awards onto the steps of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., protesting under the banner, "We will not fight in the rich man's war. Dachi dan danti dan." At the peak of his popularity, Charlie Chaplin participated in a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest in San Francisco. He came in 20th place. In China, the death penalty was often carried out by shooting at close range from behind. Afterward, the relatives of the executed would receive a bill for 9 yuan, the cost of 1 bullet. If the person had no relatives, they would work in prison for a while to earn the money for the bullet. The completion of the assembly of the bomb called Fat Man. It would later be dropped on Nagasaki in 1945. Dutch resistance members hear news of Hitler's death on the radio, 1945. In 1815, about 50,000 soldiers died at the Battle of Waterloo. Before burying the soldiers, their teeth were pulled to make dentures. Waterloo teeth were in high demand. A dog bids farewell to its fallen U.S. soldier friend. Afghanistan War, 2004. We have returned home, USSR, during World War II. North Korea had not participated in wars for 60 years, but their generals looked so out of shape that they could be defeated with a magnet. Dina Sanichar, a Relfoi Bina Sani Dina Sanim. A real-life Mowgli raised by wolves and found in 1872 in the jungles of India. 2 brothers from West Virginia who fought on opposite sides of the American Civil War in 1910. A little boy gives an older boy a flower after arriving at Auschwitz, 1944. All the people in the photograph were executed by the Germans that same day. Ella Williams, aka Madame Aboma, was 7'6", 2.25 meters tall. She became a famous performer in the US and Europe. Nazi parade in 1937 at the Temple of Light. The structure consisted of 130 powerful searchlights pointing vertically upwards. Kashmir Giants with Traveler Professor Rickleton, India, 1903. Group photo of the crew of the British battleship Hood. After the battle with the Bismarck, only 3 of the 14-15 crew members survived. The Eternal Smile, the mummy of Hatshepsut, the most powerful female pharaoh in the history of Egypt. A photo of the gruesome mask of the maniac Edward Paisnell, known as the Beast of Jersey, which he wore before attacking his next victim, 1957. Residents of East Berlin flee to the west through a hole in the fence before border guards notice. Berlin, 1961. The collection of pine bark for food due to food shortages caused by the Civil War. Russian Empire, 1918. Dam, Daddy Long Legs, the Underwater Electric Railway, 1897. A man arrested for dressing as a woman, 1939. German field dentist, World War I. 1883, British India. Bearer of civilization displays hunting trophies. Photos like this explain why Indians still resent British colonists. On October 15, 1917, Mata Hari, a dancer of Oriental dances and the most romanticized spy of the 20th century, was executed for espionage on behalf of Germany. Mata Hari asked not to have her hands tied and no blindfold placed on her eyes. She blew a kiss to the executioners and said, "Gentlemen." The explosion of a boiler in a steam locomotive, one of the many scourges of the 19th century. Despite strict regulations for boiler safety and maintenance, they exploded frequently, making the machinist's job not only hard but also dangerous. Dance of Loyalty. A ritual dance symbolizing the dancer's loyalty to the country's leader Mao Zedong, PRC, 1967. The world's first photograph, which is also the first photograph taken during wartime, the Crimean War, 1853. In the last century, striptease became popular entertainment at funerals in Taiwan. The tradition originated in mafia circles. Despite a ban in the 1980s, the tradition has survived in rural areas. The border between Vietnam and Cambodia, fortified with poisoned bamboo stakes, 1972. Moments before, the 25th U.S. President William McKinley was shot by anarchist Leon Czolgosz, 1901. Bombing for peace is like having sex for virginity, a famous slogan used by hippies during protests against the Vietnam War in the 1960s. A shaman healer and his medicines, Ghana, 1899. We Want Beer, women's protest for the repeal of prohibition, USA, 1933. Men in shorts and cowboy boots serving women at a gas station in Texas, 1940s. A resident of a small tribe in the mountains of New Guinea shocked upon seeing a white man for the first time in his life. Until 1930, these natives believed they were the only people on Earth. Polish athlete Stanislawa Wałęsiewicz won the 100-meter race at the 1932 Olympics, setting a world record. Only after her death in 1980, during an autopsy, was it determined by her genitalia that she was male, although she had both male and female sets of chromosomes. Robin Williams offers a roll of toilet paper to the thinker, 1990s. Russian inmate identifies a cruel camp guard at Buchenwald, 1945. This old photograph, probably taken at the end of the 19th century, looks like it was created to scare future viewers. Two women in long light dresses stand on the porch of a wooden house, their faces stiff and serious, and their thick hair, like dark veils, hides their hands and most of their bodies. A man sleeps in a sarcophagus during a bombing raid, London, 1940. The miraculous survivors from the 87th floor of the World Trade Center, New York, September 11, 2001. Residents of East Berlin show their children to their parents in West Berlin. The Black Widow, Bella Sorensen Guinness, a female serial killer who killed for pleasure and greed. She is known to have buried 42 husbands and accumulated more than $250,000. The Black Widow ended her life tragically. Her body was found in a forest. The photo shows Vincenzo Peruggia, who stole the Mona Lisa on August 21, 1911. Just listen to how easily he did it. He entered the Louvre, where there was neither security nor visitors, took the painting, removed it from its frame, and walked out. Titanic survivors Marjorie and Charlotte Collier in New York, 1912. Elvis Presley waits for eggs and bacon while a black woman waits for her sandwich. Colored people were not allowed to sit. Tennessee, 1956. An Armenian woman from Aleppo with tattoos indicating her belonging to a Bedouin tribe, 1915. Arab nomads gave her a choice: marry one of them and convert to Islam, or be handed over to Turkish soldiers. If this video brought a smile or maybe even some anger, share your opinion in the comments. Stay locked in for the upcoming part. Remember to smash that like button and subscribe for more. Goodbye.